Hello my friends, welcome to my channel, Abandoned Places Around the World.
Hi dear subscribers and friends. In this huge episode we have abandoned unique and exclusive muscle cars from all over the world. Most of them will never go by their own, most of them are on landfills, meadows and for some reason in wild forests. Mustangs, Corvettes, Challengers, Chevelles, Pontiacs, Chargers. I don't know about you, but my heart bleeds. These cars were made with soul. Now, a little story. This class of cars existed in the United States in the mid-1960s to the mid-1970s. The classic muscle cars are strictly defined models of mid-size two-doors sedans, hardtops and coupes, produced mainly between 1964 and 1973, and having 8-cylinder engines of large volume and power. Also, they often include strictly defined modifications of large, full-size and smaller, compact models of the same era. Similar models were produced both before and after this period, but they are not classified as muscle cars. During the production, these cars were not called like that, the terms being used as supercar or just referring to specific models. The term muscle cars came up later in the late 1970s among car collectors. Currently, there is tendency among American car manufacturers to use well-known model names and some design features from the muscle car era. Cars of this type are often seen in American films. The appearance of muscle cars was a consequence of the long-term development of hot rodding in the United States, the basis of which was initially the desire to get the fastest car for the minimum money. Muscle car is just such a fast and relatively affordable car, but unlikely the handmade hot rod rebuilt from an old car. These ones are factory made with a modern design body and fully suitable for everyday use. Every year the cars got bigger and bigger and were supplied with more and more powerful engines. If at the end of the 1950s the maximum power of installed engines on full-size 5.3, 5.8 meter long sedans reached 250-300 horsepower bhp, by the end of the decade engines of 400-500 bhp, 426 HEMI, 440 six-pack, LZ1, L88 were not rare, and engines of 300-400 bhp were in mass installed on quite ordinary, even in family cars. Initially, muscle cars were simply altered in the factory from the most ordinary cars. For example, the Pontiac GTO in the first year of its release was only one of the trim levels in the Pontiac Tempest, Grand Prix, Le Mans lineup. The package included a 325 horsepower V8 with a displacement of about 6.37 liters, a stiffer suspension, a 4-speed manual transmission instead of 3-speed automatic transmission, a distinctive exterior chrome GTO decor, separate front seats, a console, a tachometer, and so on. By the late 1960s, muscle cars had taken on a distinctive style of their own. Cars of these years are today primarily called muscle cars. The features of their style were fast back body, a two-door sedan or coupe with a very smooth or absent transition from the second volume to the third, or fast top with an extended back roof, a Coca-Cola bottle sidewall shaped like Coca-Cola bottle, an aggressive radiator grille after deeply recessed into the front fascia. Integrated bumpers, a minimum of chrome decor, imitation air intakes and chrome rims. After the 1973 fuel crisis, a sharp tightening of legislation of safety and environmental friendliness of transport, growing fears in society about the number of deaths in car accidents. Muscle cars were a big danger in the hands of young and inexperienced drivers. A significant increase in insurance rates for young drivers and small, powerful cars, monthly insurance premiums for such cars came close to the monthly payment on a loan for their purchase. By 1974, an extremely small number of muscle cars remained in production. The last powerful muscle car, 1973-1974, Pontiac Trans Am SD 455. By this time, the rest of the models were either discontinued, Pontiac GTO, Plymouth GTX, or retained only the name, in fact, turning into a more affordable version of luxury coupes with mediocre dynamics, Dodge Charger, Plymouth Roadrunner, Mercury, Cougar. Moreover, some of them in this capacity did not last long, and by the beginning of the 1980s, they were also completely discontinued. Subsequently, the main number of muscle cars were taken out of permanent operation, not even due to the physical damage, but because of the oil crisis of the 1970-1980s. During this period, both muscle cars and full-size road cruisers, which were once a symbol of the American car industry, wealth and power of America itself, began to be actively replaced by the economical and rational products of the Japanese car industry. In 2004, a new Pontiac GTO was introduced in the US, which was an imported Holden Monaro under the Pontiac brand. Also in 2005, the Chrysler 300C debuted. In the same year, Ford introduced the fifth generation Ford Mustang, which was designed after the original first generation Ford Mustang. The fifth generation brought back the aggressive features and colors of the original. In 2006, GM relaunched the Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS with an 8-cylinder, the first V8 in a Monte Carlo in 15 years. This engine was later used in the Pontiac Grand Prix GXP, Buick LaCrosse Super, and Chevrolet Impala SS, as a more powerful version of the standard Impala with compressor-equipped V6 and V8 engines. Today, in the United States, 4 cars are produced which are classified by ordinary people as a muscle car: Ford Mustang, Dodge Challenger, Dodge Charger, and Chevrolet Camaro. Don't forget to subscribe and like it. Thanks for sharing, and bye bye.